Welcome back to Northwest Elite Spirit, the channel you come to train your mind, body, and spirit. I'm Coach Brian. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, do that now. This is the art of opposition, and I got this idea from reading Journey to Ixtlan, the chapter A Worthy Opponent. And it's Don Juan's assertion to Carlos that Carlos, to become stronger and to become the man that he is to become, needs a worthy opponent. And Don Juan sets up this woman named La Catalina to be his worthy opponent. And in other parts of this book series, Don Juan talks about the petty tyrant and how the more powerful the tyrant or the opponent is, the better it is for you, the stronger you can become. So if you have a bully who is very hard to overcome, that's good for you because you get to figure it out and you can defeat the bully or the tyrant or whoever it is that's bothering you through brains or through brawn. And in the end, you are going to be much powerful for it. So we are going to talk about the art of opposition. So first, it gives you the opportunity to practice resilience. When you're up against a bully or somebody who's constantly coming after you, beating you down or tripping you up, you have to stay resilient. You have to try again, and try again. And through figuring that out, through figuring out how to stay resilient, you start to realize that you can make it through things and you can figure this out and you don't have to feel defeated. And along the way, this resilience, this try again attitude is going to help you develop skills. So if you're again going against a physical bully and you decide to take up martial arts or lifting weights, you gain physical skills. If you decide to overcome this bully or this tyrant or whatever it is you're going through your brains, you start to begin learning tactics and strategies for overcoming things, and so you get stronger in that. And you can use it as a way of self-discovery. So maybe this tyrant, this bully, or whoever's coming at you, they know a button to push in you that you might not have known about yourself. And so bullies are good at that. They find buttons to push and they keep pushing that button, and you start to know what it is that bothers you, and you can tamp that down within yourself and not let something bother you so much. And again, through resilience and learning skill sets, you begin to know more about yourself and your own abilities and what you are good at and what you can do and what you can overcome. Through that, through learning about yourself and what you can make it through and what you can learn, and through what you can plan and the skills you can develop, you begin to develop a self-confidence. Like I said, you know what it is you can do. You know what you are tough enough to make it through. You know what you are smart enough to figure out. And facing a bully or a tyrant or just somebody that's coming at you, again, it gives you this knowledge that you are able to overcome adversity. When I was young, I never had bullies who got physical, but every day it was mental, and there's a whole lot of them. I was a mixed kid, mixed black and white, grew up in a white town, racist town. And every day I started learning how to fight early, so it didn't get physical much, maybe once or twice, but every day it was just yap, people talking. And I was able to, through the confidence of learning martial arts and through lifting weights and practicing meditation, I was able to make it through that adversity without much damage. I'm not mentally distraught over it, and like I said, it never really got physical, so I made it through without really any harm. And that goes into testing your limits. A lot of people will snap very easily. Somebody will say something to them and they'll snap really easily, or somebody will push them in the hallway or shout something, from if you have a neighbor who's being the tyrant and you just snap on them, and you're able to learn your limits. And like I said, through meditation and martial arts and lifting, developing those skills, I was able to strengthen, not just know my limits, but to build and expand my limits of what I could put up with. And I won't say that I always was successful and like not saying something back, or somebody pushed me and I pushed them back. And like I said, I got in a couple physical altercations, so I wasn't always great at stopping somebody from physically assaulting me. But through those couple times that it did happen, I was aware of how it happened, and also getting people to back off. Even the people who were yapping, eventually those people backed off too. And it was through learning social skills, or I guess how to alpha people without being outwardly alpha, through manipulation of the social structure around me, and maybe like using verbal aikido, like where somebody's coming at me and I could use their energy to have them fall on their face, so to speak. And eventually I did gain some respect. I even remember the day that it pretty much all stopped. There was this one guy. He was constantly coming at my crew and I, my friends and I, and he actually threw my best friend in the garbage can. But my best friend at the time was very mouthy. He was mouthy and he didn't know how to fight, and so he got picked on a lot, and he started a lot of fights too. It wasn't just that he was picked on; he started a lot of fights too. But one day, this same bully, after I'd been using these social cues that I had learned and been lifting weights and practicing martial arts, this guy, he walks by and he's mean mugging me, and I mean mug him back. And I'm like the littlest guy. He's like the biggest guy in school. I'm the littlest guy in school. And I'm mean mugging him back. And later on at lunch, he comes to me, he says, why were you looking at me like that? And I said, because you were looking at me like that. And I didn't back down. I stood up and was in front of everybody. If this has to happen, we can do this. But he just laughed and he says, I like you. And from then on, he never bothered me. And from then on, all the other mouthy people, or the people who were trying to push my buttons, backed away too. And it really calmed down after that. A lot of those people tried to befriend me after that. And even into adulthood now, a lot of my old mouthy bullies tried to befriend me. So that goes towards fostering respect. So I earned respect through lifting weights, meditation, understanding social structures, and martial arts. And at the same time, so if you're trying to figure out your bully or your opposition, you can start to you have empathy. There's that Key and Peele skit where this bully's telling the other actor why he's bullying him. He's like, I get abused at home, and so I'm taking it out on you. That sort of thing. Or I feel less of a person, and the only way I feel good about myself is to put you down. Things like that. And those things are real. And when you start learning social cues and stuff like that, that's where that empathy comes in, and you can understand this bully, and not necessarily to befriend the bully, because not all bullies are looking for friends, or who knows if many of them are, but to understand how to break them down. And like I said, maybe some mental jujitsu. If you're not able to back them off physically, you can use mental jujitsu through them with empathy. Through empathy, you understand them better, you can communicate better, you can navigate the social structure around you and them better. And then, say in the workplace or on the field, if you have a really powerful opponent, or even in school, you have a high school rival, learning sportsmanship and learning the rules of engagement and learning how to be a good winner and a good loser. like I said, a good loser will go on to learn and figure out how to overcome the adversary eventually without crying, without whining, without bitching, and without moaning. And a good winner will be able to recognize a defeated opponent and not necessarily kick dirt in their face or hit them with when they're down type deal. So as you start to learn how to be better at the art of opposition, you start to learn the rules. Like I said, you can start manipulating the social structure, that arena that you're in, and do it in a way that doesn't leave you falling flat on your face. A lot of the times when we're being pressured, when we're being bullied, or someone's being a tyrant to us, we can snap, or we can do something that puts us in the muck among everybody else around us. What we go overboard, or people don't understand exactly why you're acting like that. And so through practicing all these things, you kind of learn the rules and the regulations around overcoming this opposition without falling flat on your face, and while becoming stronger for it. So overall, having a petty tyrant or a bully or someone who is opposing you, an opposing force in your life, is a great thing for personal strength and resilience and growth. And according to Don Juan in Journey to Ixtlan, the chapter, A Worthy Opponent, the more powerful the opponent, the more hard to overcome the opponent, the more powerful you become for it. And just a parting word from it all is, I guess, two pieces of advice wrapped into one. Don Juan says that to start off, if you want to overcome this opponent, I guess you could start with empathy, where you learn where their power lies and where they are weak, and you start to plan from there. Again, be it if you have to get physical, or if you're planning strategically and mentally, where are they strong and where are they weak, and start from there. Once again, I'm Coach Brian with Northwest Elite Spirit. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, do that now. If you think this video is helpful, give it a like. If you have any input, comment, share it, subscribe, and as always, practice. For access to my suggested library, my blog, Northwest Elite Spirit merchandise, and to sign up to be trained by me online personally, go to northwestelitespirit.com. Thank you.